Hi Cancer, and welcome back to the channel. I'm the Lady of the Throne, Divine Astrology, and I'm here today with your spiritually guided messages. I'm going to provide healing messages for you using the Great Bible, the Holy Bible here, and I like to just turn to random pages, get the message, and give you the word, the good gospel, help you out, give you some type of encouragement or clarity, enlightenment, inspiration, or whatever you feel like you may need at this time. This is to help people and is not something that don't think that anything is ever manipulated when it comes to me. And the way that it hits people is crazy because people may question everything. But on this channel, the miracle about this whole thing is when that moment when it resonates with you. That's what miracles are about. The idea that you have a confirmation of the power of God. Okay? So, Cancer, let's see what's your message here, okay? Remember, it may not resonate with you now, but check back by the end of the month. Okay, here we go. I have turned to the book of Lamentations, chapter 2, verse 18, and page 1050. But I'm not being drawn to verse 18. I'm actually being drawn to chapter 3 right now, 3 through 7. So let's see. It says, I am the man who has seen affliction by the rod of the Lord's wrath. He has driven me away and made me walk in darkness rather than light. Indeed, he has turned his hand against me again and again all day long. He has made my skin and my flesh grow old and has broken my bones. He has besieged me and surrounded me with bitterness and hardship. He has made me dwell in darkness like those long dead. He has walled me in so I cannot escape. He has weighed me down with chains. Wow. Okay. The name of this chapter is Lamentations may not have names. Yeah, Lamentations doesn't have names of chapters like the other ones do. Because I think it's just like these first person writings. Wow, Cancer. Okay, so this is about your life journey, your path. Your path has not been easy in life, purposely. Something good comes out of this though, and I just want you to know that. But right now, you're going through lamenting. There's a lot of agony, a lot of sadness for the way that the things you have seen in your life, all of the things that you have seen people do. Notice how it says by the rod of the Lord's wrath. God, the Lord, had a rod and staff. Okay. So when you see those Egyptian mummies and you see them with a rod and staff, that's what that's talking about. So it's like the Lord put up a strong stance against you is what it feels like. He made you walk away from something. He made you walk away from something. He made you walk with a lot of evil people, a lot of into evil environments, into evil places, and not into goodness. A lot of things have come against you. A lot of people have come against you. And it may feel like it happens a lot. You have changed a lot. Mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. A lot of people show bitterness and hardship toward you. You could be feeling like God isolated you and restricts you. Let me tell you, this is not about what you did, because we have to go back to the beginning. Let me tell you what Lamentations 1 says. How deserted lies the city, once so full of people. How like a widow is she, who once was great among the nations. She who was queen among the provinces has now become a slave. So this is talking about a city. A city is not a person, but the city is being personified as a woman, because this was a once beloved place. A lot of people loved the city and loved the people of the city, but now the city is like a woman who is like a widow, and this city was once great among even the nations. A lot of people may like to visit. A lot of things may have been said, good things may have been said. Could have been people's favorite place. But now this whole city has become a slave, meaning a slave to the system, a slave to the devil. Now let's go back to your part. I am the man who has seen affliction. That's the first thing. See, this is not talking about something that you did, Cancer. The reason why things are happening in your life, or that happen in your whole life. It's saying clearly you are seeing affliction. It's not that you are afflicted. You are seeing like a deserted place. You'll feel like you're surrounded by dead souls, people who don't have a soul, people who are like, their souls are dead to God. They don't really love for real, and they're not really good people for real. You're seeing it, meaning that you are a witness to everything around you. What has happened is, and what this is saying is that some of you may feel like, I'm seeing this in 3 different ways. Either A, your whole city has this overcast, this dark shadow lingering over it now, because your city went against you. The second, your hometown went against you. The second way I'm seeing this is a lot of things are just happening around you. Like, wherever you reside, you may be just noticing that what you're surrounded by is like dead souls, as well as people who are afflicted by the rod of God's wrath. See, you were driven away See, this man is saying he was driven away from this city. And like now you're walking in darkness. And it may not be your hometown. It could even be a city that you used to live in. Listen, this is deep. This could even be a city you used to live in. Let's say you lived, let's just say you lived in like Los Angeles or something like that, and then you moved back home. So it may not be your hometown, or it may be your hometown, but it's like wherever you were. You left because something wasn't right anymore in this specific place. Like this place used to be a place where everybody used to love this place. Everybody wanted to live there, or everybody said good things about it, but not anymore. It's because of what people of the city did to you, is what I'm picking up right now. Or if it's not what people of the city did to you, then you'll realize that this certain city is full of lies. Like these people are, like people made this dark. People made this a really wicked place to want to be, because people from outside of this specific place are now seeing how wicked and evil the city has become. You may feel like you don't have anyone, that everybody is your enemy. But you didn't do anything wrong. It's because the city changed, not you. Man, listen, this is so deep. This is too deep. Listen, oh my God. Let's say, for instance, you were away from wherever you live. Maybe you went to travel. Maybe you went somewhere else or something like that for a while. And you noticed that when you went back home, people changed. The people around you changed. The whole city changed. So by the time you got back, you were just standing in the middle of wickedness. It was like this dark thing had like came over this entire place, and all of the people had turned. If you know what it's like, The Walking Dead. It's really like all of these people are like dead souls because of how they afflicted you. But it ended up to where like they afflicted themselves in the whole place, because everybody on the outside can't believe how disgusting it is to know that people did this to a person. It's disgusting. People from a lot of other places are really trying to understand the psychology behind an entire location challenging a human being. People they're starting with that part first. Before any lies get told, before anything gets said, everybody's looking at that. That's for somebody out there. Now, if that doesn't resonate with you or feel like something you're going through where it's like a city, then this is what it is. Some of you are aware of city politics, where you may be aware of what's going on, where a lot of people are doing this, but it may not be towards you, but you may be aware of it. But you're starting to feel like just being in the environment is affecting you in a negative way because you know what they're doing. You may be in a place where it's just a lot of corruption. It's a lot like things that are happening in your city that makes you want to sign up and become the next mayor to fix it, to change it. Like, it's a lot of crazy things that could be happening around where you are from or where you live. And so this whole place is full of grief, sorrow, and it's a lot of darkness. And so they're trying to still make it seem like the place is still what it used to be. But a lot of people outside of this place know that these people were They created like this darkness, this wicked energy that moves through this city now, and everybody can feel how heavy it is, because a lot of these people feel horrible for what they did, but they're trying to still mask it in order for the city to still flourish and still attract the type of attention that they used to attract. Now, the people that say they still love this place are people who, after knowing what happened, are people who are just like them, dead. But the ones who are full of life and have that fire for Christ, they still love God. They're, even if they still reside here in this place, they feel like you in this place. Like, what did they do? How did they mess up so bad? People secretly and quietly feel this on the inside of them, being in this place now, because they are aware of what a whole big huge thing came together for the wrong purposes. These people are nationally recognized now as, or maybe globally recognized now, as people who went against the wrong thing. You may feel like, why are you there around, like, why did God want you to walk away and go into that particular place where all of this deadness, like where God just pretty much does not bless a place? That's what's basically saying, like, God is not blessing this specific location, and people can see that. As much as they're trying to hide it, people can still see it. So you may wonder, how did you even end up there if that's how it is there? That's because wherever you were, wherever there were sunshine and rainbows, you know, however your life was, it has changed. But see, God put you there for a reason. And see, this is something that you're missing in this whole thing. This is what you're missing. What if you are the sunshine in the darkness? What if you actually are the person who's meant to go through a journey like this in your life, around certain people in a certain location, even though you could be feeling how heavy this is, like to carry this burden? Because you can tell that whoever wrote this part is consciously aware that that's not supposed to be what they're supposed to be going through. Consciously aware that that's not what they're supposed to be going through. But it feels like that's where you're supposed to be, because God actually made you go there. When God does something like that, it's because you are supposed to be some type of, like, I'm telling you, you're supposed to be, you're not going to believe what I'm about to tell you. See, I'm otherworldly, so like, I know what's going on, but people who are not spiritual listen to me a lot. And although I'm not upset because of the ignorance, I'm not, because I know you have to learn, but I know what's going on, but it may be too deep for you. You may not understand now, but later you will. You're supposed to be going through this and being in this place because I think you are really supposed to be the person, not like a savior, but I think your life purpose is bigger than what you actually realize it is. It's like being that person who, if you ever seen The Walking Dead, your main male character is Rick. And your main female character is Michonne. Michonne and Rick this is what happened to them in the town of Alexandria. And all of this is like, these people, you follow these characters' lives, but they get placed in the city with like The Walking Dead, and like that's the only thing that surrounds them is like the dead, and it's just a lot of darkness around them. It's a lot of gloom because of all the things they have to go through. But from that show, they made it through every season so far, still victorious in all that they do. At the end of the day, they still make it. And it feels like you have been put, like God intentionally put you in the middle of The Walking Dead because he knew you were Rick or Michonne. He knew that you were a born leader. And unfortunately, it may not be as cute for you as you would have wanted your leadership role to be. Is not as glam as you thought, maybe, but now that we are in the beginning of a spiritual apocalypse, where spiritual people can easily spot out tainted souls, you're the one who have the eyes to see. You know who they are. You can recognize them. You know them. And you're like the strongest one to defeat them. Not only that, but God also gave you another big responsibility. To build an entire community of people to help them survive. Maybe you are the person, wow. Maybe you are starting to realize that, and maybe starting to get your soul tribe together to realize how wrong something is, or how bad something is right now that's going on with the people in your city. What's actually happening. You may be forced to move away from a specific job or a specific location, or God is moving or has already done it. This could have happened a year ago, 2 years ago, whatever. But something is happening with where you are right now. It seems like you were fine at first, but now you are facing something else. You're dealing with something else. You are becoming a leader of something larger than life. I feel like, I don't know, I'm going really deep, but I feel like you're really becoming, you're about to find your path. You're about to find your destiny. You're about to find out what you should do. Because see, you're so in tune, keen, aware, and intuitive, Cancer. You're noticing that this is not normal what you're witnessing. A lot of people are doing something right now that is very wicked, and you're noticing that is not normal. Like, it can't be normal, and it can't be that damn near every person that you run into is something so similar about them. about the things that they talk about. You're catching it. You're picking up, like, it's like you can see something very evil inside of these people, and you're catching all of it. Like, you can easily pick it up, and it's in a lot of people, even people you never expect for it to be inside of. It's inside of them. It's like wickedness, evil. You're picking this up. You are really picking, like, let's say, I'm going to use an example. Now, this is, like I said, spiritual people know exactly what I'm talking about. Not everyone has the great gift of seeing spirits. Only certain people have been blessed in this world to see the spirit of souls inside of people. And there's some people, just a handful of people in churches, and a handful of people in alternative healing professions like mediumship and healers and psychics and Reiki masters. Only a few real ones in this whole world, honestly, the real ones can see this. I mean, of course, it's more than a handful, but a handful compared to the rest of the world is what I mean. Certain people can see this, or are aware of how to identify demons from regular human beings. And you may never take it that far in your mind. You just may be like, you just may just leave it at just evil. That's all you may say it is. Or you may just say it's like crazy. That's all you may say. Or you may say, it's just different things you may notice, but it's a lot of people. Let's say you're like just on your way home after a long day of work. You stop at a gas station. You put gas in your car, right? And let's just say someone walks up to you and says a certain thing. And when you get back in the car, you catch on to what they just said. And you really think about it, be like, hold on. Not them just saying what I think they just said, and not me actually like an hour ago seeing this same thing that somebody else did in two different places. One killed somebody, and now this person just walked up to me and said something in a totally different place that's like in alignment with the actual crime scene. Like, it's I don't know, it's like I cannot explain this the right way. I can't articulate this at this very moment how I know this happens in real life. And then, like, you may notice an eerie feeling about that person, and it's like, hold on. But don't think that any of this is weird, especially if you're new to spirituality, especially if you're new to God's gifts. You may not feel like you're a person with God's gifts. But if you're new to this may sound strange to you, but if you are already aware of demons and you already know how that is, then this is not weird to you. Some cancers out there know about it, and so you may really pick certain things up and be like, wait, I think I just really encountered. And don't be afraid to say that that's what you actually encountered, because that could be really what you encountered. Something about your discernment is starting to really pick up demons now. Like, you actually can see the spirit of people now. Even if it's something where, when I say see, it's not like you're seeing what you see on television and you're seeing it through your two eyes and it looks like that. No. Seeing that I'm talking about is your third eye. When you see in your third eye, that's a whole different ball game compared to your two eyes. Your two eyes are conscious. Your third eye is subconscious. Your gifts are starting to awaken. I think somebody out there, and you're starting to see that through your clairvoyance, that this world is changed. And so the wicked things that are happening around where you live at, or in your city, or in a particular city, this is a movement of demons, basically. This is like the part where the rapture, like, we are in the rapture right now. So this is that happening, and you're actually starting to notice it more than other people. So that quote unquote crazy story you just read online, that crazy quote unquote weird thing that happened that you saw in the news or whatever, yeah, stop saying words like crazy and weird, and stop lying to yourself about the fact that you're really in tune with the spirit world, and you are more aware of possession, spirit possession. And so a lot of things you're starting to notice is happening is that, okay? Don't be afraid of that. But God actually placed you around all of this, a lot of wickedness, even if it's like in your workplace, with you're noticing what other people are doing for a particular reason. And if you notice, they're all robotically doing this, like meaning they all seem to be thinking on the same, like they all think on the same wavelength. They all say certain things that are very similar. They all act alike. Like it's just this programming that you're noticing. It means that you're out of the matrix, Cancer. You're not a part of the matrix. It's like you could be like Neo. You really can see that they are brainwashed. And the reason why they all sound the same now, or they all like seem to be doing the same things, is because the ones who are like that, it is real life demons in them. That's real. It's real life spirit possessions. You have to stop being afraid to admit that. The ones who do not give you that vibe, and who are not like, you know, they don't seem like they're following that wicked agenda, that's the ones that are not a part of that, and they're not possessed. They're not like, they haven't let Satan take over their souls yet, basically, or probably not at all if they're righteous. But if you notice it, if certain people may not be like that, and you may not feel that, is because they're not tainted by him. You're going to be able to tell, and that's called spiritual discernment, Cancer. You're going to be able to tell now, okay, who's on that side and who's on God's side. And you're going to tell, because you got to, like, your body, your senses are going to help you pick up everything that you need to pick up about these people. And you know what I'm talking about, Cancer, because you know the program that everybody's following right now. You know the agenda right now. You know the mind games right now. You know the you know what the plan is. You know it. You know what these people are doing, and you know who is their target. Even if you're not the direct target for them, and you know a person who is, you know that all of these other people, what they're doing. And now you have finally seen that this is demonic possession versus divine. You're about to get a clear, and let me tell you another thing. If there's an environment that you're in, and let's say there's 5 people that you see on a daily basis, 1 to none are divine, and the rest are possessed. I promise. You know why? Because the divine is not so many, is not as many as the wicked. And the wicked doesn't walk or roam in groups. Oftentimes the divine are alone. Oftentimes the chosen ones are alone, isolated. Which means that if you find that that's you, and you want to be secluded, you want to stay to yourself, you don't really want to interact, is because you're picking up all of this wickedness. So because God has moved you out of the place, or like, you know, secluded you or blocked you off or put you in some other type of like area or something like that, is because you could be one of those chosen by God, who God favors. And in order to keep you untainted, you must be, going back to chapter 3, driven away. And you may feel like you have to walk in this like wickedness around all of these people. You may still have to put up with this right now. You may still have to go through things right now and still be amongst the dead. But let me tell you why. It's not you. It's because this world is changing. And a lot of good people have to suffer for bad people. Just be lucky that you are one of the chosen. Wow. This is really, really deep. Cancer, you're one of the chosen. Somebody out there, some Cancer out there is one of the chosen. So that's what it's going to look like when you're different. So you may notice one other person who's just like you, and that's the person that you want to keep close, because the other ones have the wrong spirit and you already know about it. You have picked it all up. And don't confuse yourself about what you're seeing, about what you're feeling. Don't question your intuition, your instincts. Don't question your gut. Don't question your heart. You know when you get those feelings, something is not right. All right, Cancer. My advice for you is to don't feel bad about this. This is something that's going to be everywhere now, and it's not because of you. It's not because God is upset with you. Is not that. It's not you. It's just, this is the beginning of the rapture. And it unfortunately is going to get worse, because they're supposed to turn at this specific time in our lifetime, because everybody's being placed in their what side they're going to end up on. They're marks of the beast. All right, so that's all I have, Cancer. God bless.